Welcome. In this lesson, we're going to be looking at how to style text. This is something that you're going to do over and over again. This is also different than styling the font. We will do that in the following lesson. So let's go ahead and take a look here at what our options to style are. And I've created a little table here. You can see, reading top to bottom, we have color, alignment of text, horizontal, decorations, transformations we can do, text indenting, spacing of letters, words, and finally vertical alignment. So as I've mentioned before in previous lessons, you can look at the fuller explanations, much more in-depth descriptions if you go to the standard bodies that have the definitions of this. Here we will be walking through the basics and performing a couple of practical examples. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and write a paragraph. Created a bit of Latin text before that, simply to not distract us from what we're trying to do. And we have here a paragraph of text. We will style a couple of them. Let me go ahead and copy this over. And here we go. We have two paragraphs of text. I'm going to go ahead and save the document and load it on the browser. And you can see there that that's the default browser styling. We have not added any styling to that whatsoever. So let's go ahead and create a style sheet. And I'm going to go ahead and copy some text I've typed previously. And you can see here that we have color, in this case green. We have text alignment, we're aligning right. Then on the next one, we're going to overline as a text decoration. Then we're going to use a transform to capitalize. That means that every word on that paragraph will be capitalized. We're then indenting at 50 pixels. Our letter spacing, that means the space between each letter is going to be 3 pixels. I am then going to do the spacing between my words at 10 pixels. And finally, I will vertically align it at the bottom. Let me remove that extra bit of empty space there. And I will do the same thing. Well, not the same thing, but I will add an additional style for my second paragraph. And you can see here we have the same properties and different values. In this case, I'm doing red as opposed to green. I'm aligning left as opposed to right. I have a different type of decoration, transform as well. Well, actually, I'm using the same value here, capitalizing. We'll vary them in a second. Different values for indenting, spacing, and also for vertical alignment. So let's go ahead and save this. We're now going to link to this document as we've done in the past. Let's go ahead and write our link tag. Then we have our rel, which is going to be style sheet. Then we're going to have our href attribute, and we're going to link to our text.css file, which contains our styles for the document. And that's all we're going to do. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the document, and if we reload it, we should see no difference because we have not yet applied the styles. So let's go ahead and apply the class, the first class, which is style1. Save that, and let's go ahead and reload the file. And yes, you can see there that the styles have been applied. Now let's go ahead and do the same thing for the second one. Class equals to styles2. If we reload this one, let's go ahead and reload it. And looks like I've made a mistake somewhere. I'm going to go ahead and save. Let's make sure we have the two styles. We do have style1, style2. And you probably already caught it, but I've added an extra S here that I do not need. So now when we reload the file, we can see there that we have the styling we expected. Now let's take a look here. Let's remove the overline. This is a bit distracting. Let's go ahead and reload the page, and you can see there that it's gone. We'll do the same thing here on line through. That's even more distracting. Go ahead and load it. And you can see there the styling's a little bit better. Let's go ahead and remove our letter spacing. and we can see that a lot better. Also, that word spacing is a bit distracting. Let's set it at something sensible like 2. That might be a little bit too crowded, but you get the idea. Here we'll do the same thing. We'll remove the letter spacing, or we can just experiment and let's say give it 20 just to see what that looks like. You can see there that it looks pretty ugly, but it's simply illustrating the point. Well, let's go ahead and remove this property altogether. You can see it there. We still have a bit of too much spacing here. Let's go ahead and do something like 3. And we can also, let's do this one left. You can see there that that's more like what you would expect. We can also play with the capitalization. Let's do everything to uppercase. Let's go ahead and save, reload, and you can see there that all of the words in that paragraph are now being capitalized. So that's a bit of the basics on how to style text. Go ahead and create a file of your own. Apply a few of these properties. Make sure you're comfortable with that. This is something that you're going to be doing very often. In a subsequent lesson, we will look at how to style the font, which is the other thing that you will be doing pretty much every single time. So go ahead and create a file. Make sure you're comfortable with what each of these variables are, and have a bit of fun. So with that, I'll go ahead and close and say goodbye.